It's a turkey party.
It is a turkey party. So the turkey is, doing its thing.
Yep.
And our special guest is here to do his thing.
Uncle Beaz.
Killer Beaz in the house.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Dude, good to see you, man. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. I cannot believe we've got this group back together. Oh, my God.
Right?
We've done this a time or two, haven't we?
Once or twice or thrice.
Yeah. Killer Beaz has been around, and he's done radio for us, different stations, different times. I mean, man, it's always great. It's like family reunion. That's what Thanksgiving's about,
It
right?
really is.
All the old people come in. Look at all the young people. What the hell?
Well, look how tall Johnny got, Lord.
Dude, you had a growing spurt.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Woo, look at little sissy. She had one, too. Damn.
Them nice pointers there.
Y'all get down from Chunchula much? No, it's great to have you, man.
Dude,
you have been
you,
doing
dude.
some big things, doing Moonshiners and doing comedy all over the place. But it's, again, Thanksgiving time to get back together like family, and we couldn't think of anybody better to come and hang out with us, family,
Dude,
man.
I am tickled. I was so flattered and honored when you offered to have me on the show, man. I was tickled to do it. And I remember back when you were first planning this.
Yeah, we were just a podcast, too, man.
Yeah. You're like, dude, keep this under wraps. But I'm going to
top
do
secret.
Vape radio.
Yeah.
You watch. He told me that, man.
And here it is.
Hell yeah.
For all its glory.
So I see you on Facebook and stuff every now and then. I saw the video of you streaking. I saw that. Let me tell you, Pablo, did you see that?
I was
he
there.
He covered all his junk with one hand. No, front and back. It's like a reach around, like you did your own damn reach around. I'm like, oh my God, look
I
at
know
that.
what I like.
I never knew his hands were that big. Here's what's sad, they're not.
That's true.
Yeah, another cheer. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Hey, I know what I like, man. Hey, but we raised a lot of money for advocacy.
He is a dedicated advocate, and he will do anything to help advocacy.
And get naked.
Yeah, and that too.
Either one.
Which is another one of those alternative definitions.
Right? Yes. I can have them just, I'm streaking neutral. Man, it's glad to have you in, though, man. You've been
thank
doing all
you.
kinds of stuff, and you're on Moonshiners, man. We see
Dude,
you on
I've
TV.
been busy as hell. This is my, and I got to tell you, I'm in my 37th year
Is it really?
of show business. And so
that's a lot to be said for that,
Dude,
man.
that is
It really
a lot.
is.
Very blessed in
Yeah.
my career, dude. And so,
Which is weird because he didn't start till he was 52.
Hell, dude. All right, smart ass.
Hey, I learned a good punchline from watching you all those years.
Gotcha.
It's like an after-school special. I learned from watching you.
Here's what sucks. I have a freaking Medicare card.
Oh,
my God. I
damn.
told my wife the other day, I go, I'm a catch, honey. I got $8 a month health insurance.
Hook you up.
She should be glad to have you.
No copay for Viagra. You should be bragging to your girls. But 37 damn years.
That's a lot, man.
And I've done some really cool stuff, man. I've done some really, really neat stuff. But I got to tell you, being on that damn TV show on
Moonshiners.
Discovery Channel, Moonshiners, is one of the most fun things that I had.
You look right at home, man. That is bees and moonshine.
Well, I mean,
you
you've
got
got
on TV. What could go wrong?
You've got to get a lot of free moonshine, I would think.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. And see, and for those that don't know, I'm married to my manager. And when I
Right.
landed that gig, she's like, shit. I go, what? You and damn moonshine.
You're going to be drunk
That's
all the
all
time.
we need. She goes, so we're going to add moonshine to all this. I mean, she was pissed.
We're going to have to take the extra money you make from this gig and build another room onto the house so you can come and lock yourself up like Otis every night.
Yeah, she's like,
Hey,
like,
Andy.
oh my God. But I got to tell you, man, there is so much chemistry and physics involved in it. It intrigues
making
me.
moonshine?
Yes.
Really?
These guys are damn scientists. When the way I got on the show, get this, I was doing a concert in Bristol, Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm up in Bristol, and I get a hit on my freaking Twitter feed. And it's two of the cast members from the show, the team of Mark and Digger. They've been on, I think this is their sixth, it's season number 8 for the show.
That's a lot
I
of
think it's
moonshine.
number 6 for them.
Wow.
It's season 3 for me. But they
Right.
hit me up. And they go, dude, it's Mark and Digger from Moonshiners. We saw you at Zany's Comedy Club, Nashville, Tennessee,
There you go.
20 years ago. We're fans of yours. You're in our
Nice.
neck of the woods. Come see us.
Yeah.
So that's what started
That's how
it.
lit the fire right there.
That's what started. So immediately in my head, I'm like, I need to be on that damn show.
You like you
Hell
had me at Moonshine.
Yeah. Look, y'all hear the sound of my voice?
Yeah.
My demographics love that crap.
Yeah.
They love that. So I went and hung out with me and the lovely Miss Terry. Corporate, we call her. That's what we call my wife.
That's the wife's corporate, right? Yeah, that's
Corporate.
like Sharon Osbourne. Yeah.
Yeah, me and corporate and our little road dog Muhammad had driven from Mobile to Bristol because we had to go through Nashville to do some media stuff.
Right.
So we went into the Pigeon Forge area on the way home, hung out with them, stayed so late that they go, man, don't drive home. Go stay in our cabin. So we went and spent the night in the
Moonshiner.
Moonshiner
Cool.
cabin that's on all the Christmas specials.
Nice.
Spent the night there. And
That's
the
like
next
fancy redneck shit
dude,
there,
okay,
man.
They had what I call it a cabin. They got satellite TV, Wi-Fi.
Oh hell, that's better than my double wide right
dude,
there.
I'm telling you. So they come by the next morning to show us how to get back to the interstate.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's out in the country.
So
It's
it's out
way
there,
out.
huh?
I stopped for gas. This dog run up and barked at me. Banjo sounds came out of his damn mouth. So anyway. So we go eat breakfast like a little Waffle House. I think it's Huddle House there.
Oh, Huddle
yeah, Huddle House. Yeah.
Same difference, just
Right.
more rustic.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's like the
Spelled with a Y.
fancy Waffle House.
Yeah. So yeah, they have teeth implants.
Right, yeah. They don't slide in, no.
High class.
So we're hanging and they go, man, they go, you need to let us teach you how to make moonshine. And once again in my head, y'all need to get me on that freaking show.
Right.
I didn't say it yet.
right.
I was using decorum.
Right.
And so I go, yeah, man, that'd be awesome. They go, well, man, find out when you can come up this summer. And we'll make moonshine together. Okay, cool, man.
Done.
So we
Sold.
leave. And so I'm pitching it to corporate all the way home. And she
Oh,
is
yeah.
rolling her damn eyes and she is hating it. Those of you who do not know me, like Pablo and Rodman, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, we don't need people.
Look,
Googling
all we're gonna
mugshots.
say is we love Miss Terry. She's
Googling the
a wonderful lady,
She is.
and
And probably so forgiving.
yes.
Yeah, she's got to be. She's got to be.
So all the way home, man, I'm pitching. I'm like, dude, look, man, if I get on that show, and bless her heart, she's like, I know. And then she's like, damn it.
Yeah.
I know, I get it.
You're going.
Damn it.
You're going.
So I get home and I'm pitching it, and so we blocked off a month in the middle of the summer.
Just to
And
shoot.
to take a hit. We invested, not
Right.
going out and making money for a
Right,
month.
not in the road, man, because you do shows
Right.
all over the United States,
Yeah.
outside the United States,
Yeah,
everywhere. So
yeah.
a whole month, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. So went up to the mountains, made peach moonshine, cranberry moonshine, and then straight corn liquor. Get this, when I got done making the corn liquor, we had that came out, we tempered it all down to
Right.
about 115 proof. Wouldn't kill you to drink it, but our philosophy
knock
is
you on your
if somebody wants a swig of moonshine, they don't want to swig and go, oh, that's smooth. They want to go, woo, holy crap.
Yeah, right.
They want that.
They want to say,
know?
"Ow!"
Yeah, and then they'll go,
Ow, that
I'll
hurt.
do one more mouthful.
Right,
and so
right.
that's what we try to do, where you can take like
You got
two
two,
good
yeah.
swigs
You
and
down.
you're done.
You're down.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
You don't want, that is so
No,
tasty.
I don't want
You
moonshine light.
Yeah.
Hell no, you want bam, go,
It's a
holy
nice cherry
crap.
flavored moonshine.
Yeah, we're not trying to make Bartles and James here.
Exactly. So I brought
We're not
home-
leaving a light on for you.
Here's what it's going to tell you. Then remind me to tell you about the rest of it. Anyway, so I drove home from Pigeon Forge with 4 jars of this 115 proof corn liquor in the
Right.
car. I get home, corporate's pissed again.
Uh-oh.
You drove with that in the car?
Yeah, you're a moonshiner now. You're a
And
bootlegger.
Then I took 1 jar and sold it to an ex-cop buddy of mine in Mobile. So now I've got street cred.
Yeah, you do. He's a moonshiner.
I'm gangster now. I have manufactured moonshine. I've transported it across state lines and sold it to a dirty cop.
There you go.
Dude, West
Just a
Mobile
good old
County,
boy.
West Mobile County, I am a freaking legend. Everybody,
He drinks for free at the Sahara Club every
Dude,
week.
Everybody, I signed the wall. Everybody that has a still up at their hunting camp or whatever calls me
Go-
now,
oh, yeah.
asking me about how to make moonshine. And of course, I've made 3 batches, 4 now in my
Right.
whole life. And so, but I know all the words. Well, let me tell you about your thump keg. You got to have your thump keg set up.
You're like the Moonshine Jedi.
yeah. So, but anyway, so while I was up there with them making these batches of moonshine,
Right.
You know how we don't judge people,
Right.
but we freaking judge people.
Right.
I am up in the damn mountains,
Right.
in the woods, with an illegal moonshine still, and these 2 bastards.
Yeah, you can say it.
I started to
we're
say
good.
these 2 fuckers.
Yeah, you can say it. That's good.
But I know better because I've done radio before. Anyway, I'm standing. They are, man, they're overalls and they're spit cups. I'm
shit.
like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? So I'm trying to be a good student. So I turn to this guy named Digger. I go, man, when you put the fruits or the vegetables into the still, and he stops me right there. He goes, you mean the botanicals?
Right.
Hell yes, I mean the botanicals.
Yes.
First he spit in the spit cup. You mean the botanicals? I'm like, yes, I do. So then he had me take this like a garden hose.
Yeah. Right.
We were on a trout stream, damn trout stream, damn bear season in the freaking woods.
all
I had
them
to
drunk
take-
trout.
So I had to take this water hose upstream so
Right.
they would have a gravity feed of cold water to refresh their condenser tank.
Damn.
Right.
Because you gotta cool the stuff back down. And if
That's
the
some
water
complicated redneck shit.
if the
right
water
there.
doesn't keep flowing through it,
temperature
it'll
drop.
heat it. It'll heat up, and then it won't.
and you can't
condense.
exactly hook that to the city utilities and have
Correct.
a name on record.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
right.
so I go and I put one end upstream. I come back down, and there's a valve on their end of the hose, and they're adjusting it. So I go, what happens if too much cold water? And then he goes, you mean thermal shock? Hell yes, I mean thermal shock.
Exactly.
So, dude,
Why not?
So in 8 minutes time, I realized these cats are freaking scientists.
Right.
Oh my God. So anyway, did this for a month. We would make the mash, and I'd have to babysit the mash barrel and go out and stir it
putting
every
time
day.
into this, right.
And then halfway through the fermentation process, go add the extra sugar, all that stuff. So while we're doing it, they have cell phone service. So
Right.
they're talking back and forth to New York. And New York is
High-tech rednecks.
and New York is complaining because there's nobody making big money. Nobody's selling big money liquor on our show. And I'm like, dude,
What?
I know everybody out of Nashville. So
Right.
I contacted some people in Nashville. I go, look, man, I know these cats that make moonshine.
Right.
I go,
I got a connection.
and I go, they do the high tech. These guys make top shelf stuff.
Top shelf moonshine.
They have, dude. They make like a combination of apple and rye moonshine that's badass. They made last year a vanilla bean maple syrup corn moonshine.
That sounds
Damn,
good.
That
imagine
was
that, man. They like
badass.
flavors. Wow.
Right.
That
Yeah,
was
adults like
badass.
flavors in their moonshine.
They made
What an interesting concept.
Right, yeah.
They made, get this, they've come up with a way to make a cream-based moonshine. Last time I was up there, they had made cherry vanilla
Moonshine.
moonshine. Tastes like
for your flamboyant rednecks.
tastes like well when you're trying to get your old lady drunk.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, literally tastes like a melted milkshake that would fuck you up.
Nice.
So-
Somebody gets
So anyway, so I get in touch with some celebs out of Nashville. I
Yeah.
go, man, look, I got a chance to score some really
Real deal.
badass moonshine.
Yeah.
You want to maybe get in on that? They're like, hell yeah. And then I go, can we come to your house and do it on camera? They're like, what the what? Anyway, long story short, my first appearance on the show, I sold $30,000 worth of moonshine in one sale.
Damn.
$30,000
Wow.
worth of gin made in the mountains. And gin is a multi-step process. $30,000.
So you had the moon 30 and gin and 30 in moonshine.
Get this, I sold $30,000 worth of gin moonshine
Okay.
to the lead guitar player that wrote Sweet Home Alabama when he was in Leonard Skinner.
What?
Ed King was his
Yes,
cat's
yeah,
name.
Ed
Went
King.
to his mansion in Nashville and all this stuff. So that's how I got on the show.
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw that they were wanting to do high dollar stuff, and of course, as you know, I worked out of Nashville for many
Right,
years.
right,
I was
uh-huh.
on Sony Records, Warner Brothers, so I know everybody.
Right.
And went, man, there's my niche
You're
right
like,
there.
I got you, man. I know exactly who wants
so
your
I,
product.
so I brought that to the table for New York, and they were like, "Well, hell yeah!" And so that's
awesome,
how
man.
I got on the show, and I played the role of Killer Beaz, the comedian.
That's amazing.
On the
You've got
freaking
that.
show.
You've got that.
It is like an infomercial. Every time one of my little segments airs,
Right.
it's like a freaking infomercial.
That's
for me.
awesome, man. That
so
is
my
awesome.
Google search numbers went up over 900%.
Damn.
On the first,
Nice.
on the first episode I
that
was
you're
ever
on.
on.
Hell yeah.
Look at
So
you.
new season starts January the 2nd.
Yeah.
And they've expanded my role somewhat. I cannot elaborate on that because of my non-disclosure agreement.
But I did find a spoiler on the internet. Beaz is going to streak for moonshine advocacy.
Yeah.
for flavors.
But I have those big sports hands, those
Oh,
big
oh,
those foam hands.
Ah, yeah.
I use that. Is that the one finger sticking out? No, it was a closed fist glove.
I swear to God, that's where it was. The Discovery Channel was Moonshiners Tuesday nights, man. That's,
January 2nd
that's the new
is when the new season kicks
starts,
off.
man.
That
That's
is cool.
awesome.
Vape Radio, Pablo and the Rodman are turkey party.
Yep. Gobble, 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 gobble.
Yeah.
It's a Thanksgiving. You can't say it's Thanksgiving Day because that's tomorrow, but
Right.
it's our pre-party party.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our extravaganza, if you will.
We got everything. We got dessert. We've got turkeys.
That's right. And our very special guest, the killer himself,
Uncle Beaz.
Killer Beaz in the house.
Yeah.
And now I'm caffeined up.
Oh, shit. Bubba got him.
On top of that,
Yeah, Bubba hooked him up with some coffee, so I'm not sure. Yeah.
that's a secret blend, evidently. That-
Yeah. Oh, it is.
It is.
When they quit using liquid fuel rockets, they had a bunch left over, and Bubba got a hold of it. I'm gonna call this coffee.
This is going to fire your ass
next
up.
comedian I see,
Yeah, right.
I'm dosing him.
Oh, my God.
So, man, you've been doing the Moonshiners. That's awesome, man.
You've
Doing
been
your shows
touring all over the
I've
place,
been
man.
touring all over the place. Oh, and get this, in case all that wasn't enough, I signed a deal with Carnival Cruise Line.
Yeah?
And I have now done 120 ocean cruises performing stand-up.
Stand-up
Wow.
comedy shows on the
Correct.
Carnival Cruise Lines.
Correct.
Wow, that's a lot.
So that's a lot. So it's been in about 2 years, 10 months. I've done 120.
Damn.
In addition to my stuff on land, in addition to the
That's got to be
Moonshiners
nice, dude. That's got to
show.
be luxurious. You're probably like, they
So-
probably put you up in a big, like, fine cabin. and
You would
everything.
think that, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Dude, my little cabin is so low on the bottom of the ship, I can hear the sonar ping from enemy submarines. I'm like, oh my God.
Are they really? You're like down there, like with all the staff where they have to stay?
Crew.
The crew?
I'm in
Yeah.
the crew.
And it's not the motley one that you would like to
area.
be hanging out with. No.
Yeah. Now, lately on some of the ships, they have they've elevated the rooms that we're in, and we'll get like a staff room, which is a little bit better
Right.
and stuff. But we're getting paid to be there.
You can't beat
Right.
that.
Dude, they pay me to be there. I work a total of 2.5 hours for the entire cruise.
Damn.
Really?
That's like a sore
And
dick. You can't beat it.
And so, but we've all tried.
Well, we have.
So that's where gritting your teeth comes in. That's where the phrase "grin and bear it" comes in. But it has been an amazing thing. They will fly me to Belize, to Honduras,
Wherever. Huh?
to Jamaica, to Puerto Rico, to board ships, and I'll do shows all the way back to the States and stay on board and go back out.
Right. That's
It
kind of
is-
cool, man.
It is absolutely an amazing, and I'd never been on a cruise in my life.
Right.
And so
This is like the first time.
Yeah, so it is amazing to be in the middle of the freaking ocean. There's nowhere else on the earth that you can look all the way around you 360 degrees and see the flat horizon with nothing in the way all the way
All the
around
way
you.
around. So I ain't swimming
It's-
back to shore from here.
It is
Nope.
it is amazing, dude. And something that's cool that I do, here's how dorky I am. I'll go out while we're underway. I'll go out on the outside rail and go toward the front of the ship, and the ship scares up schools of flying fish.
Yeah.
And they'll
jump out in front of
pop up out of the water and fly away from the ship like 6 inches off the water. And they'll go like 100 yards.
Damn.
Which, you learn about them in school.
Right, right.
Then I
See.
forgot there was such a thing. And
I'm
I was
surprised
just,
you being a Southern gentleman as you are that you're not out there with a fly rod or something trying to pop one of them things.
Have you or have you not run a trot line off the back of that boat?
Can I convert into that?
decorum dictates that I refer that question to corporate. We're going to have to send that through corporate. They're going to have to redact part of my...
Mr. B's dinner is served on the Lido deck. You'd be like, I'm good.
I'm good.
I done fried up a mess of fish.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Dude, Lido deck. Oh, my God. People watching on Lido deck is 50% entertaining and 50% disturbing as hell. I'm like, oh, my God. Ma'am, I don't think a thong goes on sideways like that. Them bastards from Puerto Rico, dude, they don't mind either.
They don't
oh,
care,
my
do they?
God.
No,
They hang We've all seen a muffin top.
Right.
Right.
Out by a pool. I saw a whole beef brisket top. I'm like, oh my God, ma'am. Ladies, if your tramp stamp says Outback Steakhouse, chances are, if it's the Winn-Dixie Beef People logo, go with the onesie, please.
But that's probably. I mean, do you get bothered much? Like not bothered, but like when you're on downtime, like you're not doing a show, you're not doing a comedy performance on the cruise ship. Maybe you're walking around, hanging out, grabbing something to eat, what have you. Do you have people come and go, hey, and all, and you're kind of trapped there. I mean, you don't have a chance to get away.
You're stuck on a ship with 5,000 people you don't know.
Right.
Okay, 1,000 feet by 140 feet.
Like if this thing goes down, I'm looking at who I'm going to eat first.
And and I've been lucky. They like me. I do very well. And so halfway through the cruise, man, they all know who I am. So I'm on duty even when I'm not gigging.
Well, that's what I was
people
wondering.
are wanting pictures with me,
Right.
you know. And I'm one of these cats. I'm old school, man. I'm thankful for my career.
Right.
So I take
long
the time. I take the time with the people. I'm very accessible. Because I just think karma-wise, man, that I need to be that way.
Right. No, it's true.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like we talk about all the time. I heard Gary Shandling say one time, he's like, what's worse than doing a show every night is not doing a show every night.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's true.
Having no show to go to.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly,
And
dude.
it always reminds you, I mean, because we go do vape shows all over the United States. And I'll be honest, a lot of times we're leaving, we're heading to the airport. I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, we're going to another vape convention. Oh, gee.
Right.
And then you get there, and then there's people that come up, hey, and it kind of
And you remember, you remember why you went in the first place.
Right, exactly.
And
Yeah.
you're doing what you do.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm like, we ain't roofing houses here, guys.
Right, exactly.
We blowing
right, dude.
clouds and taking selfies.
Exactly
Enjoy
right.
it.
And so it's a different dynamic,
Right.
for the crew and the staff, and the performers, than it is for the people who are just cruising and chilling, And it's kind of cool to watch these other people, let their hair down, if you will. You learn this, though, and don't repeat this. Don't let this leave this room.
Top secret.
But
Right.
Other people's vacations are a pain in the ass.
Right.
Good God.
Now, do you have other performers that you like? That perform, and is there like beef maybe between like are there other comedians, or
Dude,
is there like the the fire breathing
there
lady who just
are-
hates your guts?
They're, on the Carnival cruises, all the performers are on the same team.
Okay.
There's 2 comics every cruise.
Gotcha.
There's a dozen of the production people that
right,
work
put on a
in the
show.
big giant, the singers, the dancers,
Right.
the musicians, and everybody. Pardon the pun, we're all in the same boat.
yeah,
Right.
if you
Literally.
will.
Right.
And it's cool to me to see the way everybody
Right.
gets along together.
And does Miss Terry get to
that's
go with you on
pretty
these
cool.
cruises?
Terry's done like 20 of them
Oh, that's cool.
with me, and
Nice.
Carnival is really good. They cut me a deal. I get to bring her out relatively. Let me change that. Extremely cheap.
Yeah.
She has to stay in my little cabin with me. So,
Right.
so one of
well,
us.
it can't all be upside.
So one of. That's right. That'd just be spoiling a guy right there, wouldn't it? All right, honey, you've been out of the hot tub 9 minutes. We got to get this done. So,
Speaking of hot tub, before we go any further,
no, I'm not.
oh,
Go ahead.
Not me.
Go ahead.
Beaz was telling us about the story about how you met Pablo.
No, well, I mean,
That is not how we met.
that's not how we met. But,
Oh, that'd be.
That'd be even more embarrassing, wouldn't it? Maybe later. We'll
I was
save it.
I was always fond of his mother-in-law.
Let me read
Nana
this.
was great.
Let me read this. Outback Steak.
This thing looks like a blooming onion back here.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! No, because I first met Beaz.
I cannot believe I'm not going to take part in this story.
That's cool. No, I first heard you probably in the late '80s, and then I ended up working at the station I heard you on, and ended up getting to know you because you would come hang out, do the morning show with us, things like that. And that's one thing. Going back to meeting people, and I can always say is you were always a guy who had your head level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, well, thank you, man.
You're always a talented guy, but you were a real guy.
Yeah.
You never had that like, oh, I'm big shit.
Right. Like Steve Harvey.
I need to have my Perrier water if I'm going to come to this appearance. You were never that guy. You were never a diva.
He wasn't a Pauly Shore ever.
No.
Corporate fusses at me to this day. Dude, you got to quit acting so appreciative. No, I don't.
You know what? It's a good thing. We enjoy, especially I know at my age and all the things we've done in radio and come around. I enjoy it and just have to remind myself of going, what? Again, I'm not roofing houses, man. You know what? If I can make this world is shitty enough, if I can make somebody laugh or smile for 2 seconds, damn, that's a great thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it takes me holding my junk in one hand, then God be it.
No doubt. And I've always one of your bits is always just stuck in my head, just the way you delivered the line, and it was you'd talk about Nana.
Right.
That nut hating bitch. Just the way you delivered
wife-
that line under your breath, just nut hating bitch. And that has played through in my mind so many times over the years. And I'm quoting you in my mind when I see it. And I go,
man, I do a vasectomy story in my act, and it starts out, the first words are my wife and her testicle hating mama.
That's all you have to say right there.
That gets their attention.
Yeah, that gets them all ears.
yes,
Literally.
I'm paying attention now. No, I just always love that, man. But yeah, we had some interesting times back in the day.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, some of our off-air conversations, like you say, are sometimes some of the funniest.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
And scientific.
Yeah.
That's true.
Go
That's
figure,
true.
huh?
Life lessons.
Life
if you
lessons
will.
learned. Yes.
Yeah. Now you got some connections to vape too. Your son's still vaping, and you know some people that
Yes,
vape,
he
right?
is. Yes, as a matter of
Killer
fact.
Beaz has always been pro vape. He
Yeah,
understands
yeah.
the benefit of harm reduction it's been for us.
Yeah.
and
Saved my wife's life.
Yeah.
By gosh.
There you go.
She was a hardcore smoker, man, and she tried everything. Chantix. She tried gum. She tried patches.
Right.
Everything. And vaping is what did it for her.
Really? That's
Got
it?
her vaping rigs.
Worked for me.
Hooked up, used it, got the next batch of liquid with less nicotine, then went down to even less nicotine. Even spent a while with 0% nicotine.
Right, just
vaping.
Yeah, she got off that, right.
And I'm an absolute proponent, man.
Right. That's awesome, man.
Absolutely.
See
Amen.
there.
And so,
and there's so many people out there. I know our age that are smokers that like us. People say, "Where did you get your radio voice, Marlboro?"
Right.
I mean, literally,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
And but this is again one of the only thing that's ever worked for me. And I think that there's more people our age that need to know about it. Because it does. It actually works. I mean, I took Wellbutrin and Chantix. That was just like
Yeah,
horrible
Wellbutrin, that was another one
nightmares.
she
And
did, right.
it was just like I can't do that. Tried the gum, the patch, none of that. Address that hand to mouth. Sensation of it. So, man, that's awesome that it worked for her, that she's actually been able to kick the habit.
Yeah.
It's something that, it actually does work. And I think that they hate to see that because it cuts into their money, but, oh, well, screw them. It works, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
dude, I'm just telling you, though, just the Killer Beaz seal of approval is on the vape industry.
There you go. Boom. You heard it here first.
That
there you
is
go.
for dang sure, man. And while my wife was going through her smoking cessation. You guys hooked her up. You remember that?
Oh yeah, when I was at Cyclops River, yeah.
Y'all helped her out tremendously on that.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's again the people that you have in your life, family, friends. You know, if you have nobody else, reach out to them, man. Because I know there's a lot of people that we're all related to or what have you, friends with that's still smoking. You know, and would love a way to quit.
Yeah,
you know?
and if you are struggling to to quit smoking, keep in mind that it's not a weakness to go, I had to have a cigarette.
Right.
That's not a weakness. Because that next one cigarette may be the very one that reminds you,
right,
look how much time it took out of my life to do this.
Yeah.
Look how much this doesn't taste as good as it used to.
Right.
Look at the smell of the smoke on my fingers now.
Right.
Look
Clothes.
at the smell on my clothes. That may be
car.
the very cigarette that helps
Makes a
you
difference.
go that much farther and make that difference.
Yeah,
So
right.
so
Right.
that's, they say any kind of addiction that relapse is part of the recovery.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up. You know,
Right,
you
right.
may have a pack of cigarettes stashed somewhere.
Right, right.
You know, but you know what? If you're thinking about it and you feel guilty about it, that's a step forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's another step forward.
I
And-
know. I think when I finally realized like was no longer really a smoker, is I'd been vaping only, not smoking, but just vaping for probably a good year. But I was at a concert festival, Hangout Fest.
I remember that.
Went
I
all the
was
way,
there.
Went all the way to the other
saw
side,
it.
and this is a huge, area where they have these, dual stages up on each end. And so I'm way away from where my vape is, and my batteries ran out. And we're right in the middle of this killer set. We're watching and having a great time. A bunch of friends. None of them, of course, wanted to leave for me to go get batteries. I didn't want to leave the group, so I'm going to try to tough it out and be there for a while. Well, there's people around me. They're smoking cigarettes. Well, finally, I gave in. I was like, you know what? Let me hit that real quick. Here, let me hit that. And so I tried it, and I hit the cigarette. And it's then I realized, like, yeah, this tastes like ass, and not in a good way. Yeah. I'm not a smoker anymore. Like that cigarette.
remember that.
Is what basically solidified it in my mind of like, yeah, I don't do that.
Right, because
that's fucking nasty.
That's the same weekend you got me into vaping.
Yeah, got you a mod and everything
when we
started.
started working together doing this stuff.
Right.
And I remember that because you were like,
that
yeah,
was freaking
that's
awful.
horrible.
Right, but it took.
How
like
did I
you
ever
said,
do that? Yeah.
cigarette for me to try it and go, oh God, why did I ever do that? Oh,
Right.
shit, that's
See?
nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, so take heart, everybody, that there's that silver lining there. It's all about your intent.
Right.
And I'm glad you shared that
Yeah.
because that just shows, that was not a downside.
No,
that
it
was
actually
a
was
big plus.
I still remember it.
Yeah.
It's solidified the fact that, okay, I am not a smoker. I am a vapor. I know for a fact now. It's not me wanting to, and oh my God, if I
Right.
ever got around another cigarette, I might, relapse and go back into, whatever crazy thoughts you had. I was like, oh no, I tried it, and no, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
I'd rather go without than that. That's
Right.
fine. So you're right, man. That's awesome that she quit, though, man. Very cool.
Yeah. So
Very
we're still proud and tickled as all get out.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So-
Very cool. So moonshine,
And that's great
cruise
too
lines,
to have you out there,
cigarettes.
out there in the world, because we need more mainstream people, out there interacting with the public,
Yeah.
who when they see that or the topic comes up, that somebody can go, oh no, hang on, you're hearing the wrong information.
Right,
No, here's
right.
what vaping can do for you, and when that comes from you, that's a wonderful thing,
Right.
Because I have
Somebody
a testimonial.
right,
It means something to me.
In the South, we call that coming to the front and testifying before the whole congregation. So-
That's right.
It is. It is.
And
So
don't, forget, we're going to have barbecue plates and pork and beans afterwards.
We got a
Dinner
building-
on the ground.
We got the buildings fund we need to take care of.
That's right. $10 a plate.
a new vaping liquid that lowers cholesterol. Get to work on that.
Yeah, that'd be really good, wouldn't it? Yeah, they got vitamin vapes now.
That's
so-
true, that's true.
Yeah, so who knows? They may have one already. We'll have to research that up.
No
man.
doubt.
Killer Beaz.
Pablo and the Rodman Wicked Wednesday, our Thanksgiving extravaganza.
Yes, turkey party.
With our pal Killer Beaz in the house.
Yeah.
And nothing is going on in here.
Nothing
What?
at all. Nothing.
Well, the Rodman has his pants on.
Yeah.
Backwards.
Yeah. Oh man, dude! I tell you what, hearing all the shows he's done makes me feel like bad for complaining about all the shows we've done because it's nowhere near 100. Much
Y'all
less.
been on the road.
Yeah,
man.
a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, we were just out
San
in San
Antonio.
Antonio. Before that. Denver, NVE
Yeah.
Denver was
Oh,
great.
Colorado?
Yeah, because everything's legal out there, so we really enjoyed our time. I got to go to a dispensary for the first time ever. Man, that was a trip, dude. Have you ever been to a dispensary? Dude, it's like amazing.
I did a show in San Francisco. I go out every year and do a gig in a winery, in a big amphitheater. But so we went to a dispensary. I'd never been in one. I'm in Alabama.
Me either. Me either.
You know,
exactly.
you cannot have pot in Alabama, or they will hang you. With a rope made out of hemp.
right, exactly. Yes, exactly.
What the hell?
Right.
So, but get this, we went in this dispensary and it was amazing. One, I was nervous the whole time, kind of like, oh my gosh, you know,
right.
just from.
We're coming from Alabama, where we're from. It's like, holy shit, is this all a big con?
They're about to kick the door in and come lock us up.
So here's what tickled me, man, and inspired me. Was the names of all the strains of the pot.
Oh, yeah.
Back no time of day, man, you got any pot?
Right.
Then they tried to get hit. They went weed.
Right.
On us.
Yeah.
Parents called it grass.
Grass, yeah.
They called it grass.
Yeah.
But
reefer.
Reefer. But then I was out there.
Are you smoking the reefer with the jazz musicians?
right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So they had all these different names.
Yeah, they got
and
a
these
million.
strains. I'm standing there looking around. The guy goes, "Oh, here we got kryptonite," and I'm like, "Kryptonite? You want people to smoke the stuff that killed Superman?" What in the hell?
That doesn't sound like a good time.
What's that one over there? 9-pound hammer. You want people to smoke stuff they need a helmet for? What's that one? Gorilla Glue. You want people to smoke stuff they fix their tennis shoe with. So, but now here's the serious part. This is what I'm proposing to you guys here at Cyclops Vapor and Vape Radio. If they legalize medical marijuana in Alabama or any kind in Alabama, I want to open a dispensary.
Okay.
So I'm looking for partners.
I'm down.
Right.
And it's going to look, instead of having the weird strains, all the weird names, kryptonite, all that kind of stuff.
Hammer.
Oh, yeah. Pie hole.
Yeah.
We're going to name all the stuff off of items from Cracker Barrel's menu. Because that'll be our audience. That's our customers.
That's our
man.
demo, right? No, you're right.
Man, roll me up some of that fried okra. Banana pudding. Give me some banana pudding. Is that grit?
Give me a sack of dumplings.
Like, what are you doing with all this? This is a family reunion.
That's awesome.
It's potluck.
Yeah. Literally.
Dinner on the ground.
There's that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
my
it was
God.
like this.
That would be awesome.
It was like a doctor's office because it was a medical thing, and they would go next patient. I have never been in a happier waiting room in my entire life. You never go to the doctor's office, people are high-fiving on the couch. Sounded like this. Hear this? This is what the waiting room sounds like.
The doctor's office, awesome.
Hey, man, treat me. I need some treatment. I am worried within an inch of my damn life.
Give me 9 grams of pie hole.
I need some treatment and a widespread panic bootleg tape.
Right, no doubt.
And some where's my car? How about?
Yeah, that's when we went, and it's like, they let you through, and it was
That's
just like
amazing.
a smorgasbord, man. I mean, it was just, I'm like, do y'all just have regular weed? Like,
How do they do all those strains? I don't know. Is there actual little kryptonite dust?
Right, you sprinkle it over the buds, It's,
How does that work?
Kryptobud. Yeah.
And how did they grow it without seeds? What's that sounds like?
I don't know.
Alchemy or something.
Right? That sounds like, what kind of magic
sounds
is
like-
this?
Right?
Right?
Yeah, because it's all seedless, I think.
I tell you what, though, the show in Denver was amazing. It was the first show we've done all year long that there was just no vape drama at. Everybody was in a good mood. Everybody was fine. Everybody was
we're doing
a vape
mellow.
show. Yeah. Well, hey, man, good to see you, man. You want to hit this?
What's up, man?
Listen to the sound that doorknob makes. Oh, my God. I could listen to this all day. Well, it's been 3 hours. I love it. Oh, look. Different people turn the doorknob different directions.
Yeah.
I bet if you're left-handed, you turn counterclockwise. And if you're right-handed, you turn clockwise. No, we're seeing it from the back side of the doorknob, so they would be turning it from
Totally
them.
opposite.
Whoa, that's deep.
Dude, that is
you
crazy.
just blew my mind, man.
Morning.
The boys from the South. That's
Well,
what it says.
that is us, isn't it?
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
But we
and-
need the blue pill for the boom part, though.
Well,
We're a little
maybe.
old, yeah. More like a...
$2.50 for 100 milligrams generic in Mexico. Place called Mega Market. Look, you get off the cruise ship and you go through that little tour section where the taxi cabs are.
Right.
And the guy will get out of the cab and go blah, 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 to you, and you just go, Mega Market. Si, senor. And they'll open the door. And you hop in there and they drive you to Mega Market. Now, you go inside, go upstairs and over to the left where the pharmacy is, and go up to the lady and go, do you have Viagra? And she'll look at you.
You notice he knows the exact.
Right.
And then she goes, see. And I go, and then you go. Then a customer
A random customer would say.
A customer would say, do you have generic Viagra? And then they go, see. And they go, how much is that? And she'll type in her little thing and then get on a calculator. She'll go, 4 for $12. And you go, I'd like 20.
Right.
And so she rings it up, and then she goes, please tell me you have change. And I go, yes, I do. So, but here's the downfall. Mexican Viagra makes your junk rattle like a maraca. People don't know that. And all the old dudes that get on the ship and go buy Mexican Viagra without a prescription will get back on, and all that night when you're ocean here. Yeah, and then the sounds of somebody hitting an inhaler.
Yeah, gotta get the oxygen in. Hey, I would figure it'd be like a pinata. You beat it till stuff comes out, you know?
See, we were perfectly fine.
You see,
I had to go there.
You see, Beaz, nothing has changed with him over the decades.
No kidding.
No, get out,
That's
man.
what's killing the coral, son of a bitch, okay? An unidentified serum.
So tomorrow's Thanksgiving, man. Are you looking forward to the holidays? What's a Killer Beaz
awful.
Thanksgiving look like? You go back to family?
The in-laws are coming into town.
Yeah.
Which, oh my God. A lot of dynamics going on there.
Really?
My wife is younger than me, and so her dad and I are kind of close to the same age.
I
and
know
that's
the feeling.
And that's a weird relationship with your pa-in-law when you're like, hey, brother.
Right.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Say hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Yeah, good girl.
I knew that. I knew it. You know, it's so weird. Most families, when they get together for the holidays, you don't stand there with your pa-in-law and compare your Vietnam draft numbers. You know what I mean?
Right. Like you were right behind me.
So that was you? Oh, my God. And you weren't hurt.
Right.
You hopped right up. I remember seeing that.
I look back, I swear to God.
Oh, yeah. Head on a swivel. So they're bringing their dog. They have an old dog. This dog is old. I mean, it is
Like real old.
an old dog. And so you don't really know whether to touch it. Half the places you pet it at Yipes. Like,
Right. Sorry.
oh, my God. So that's where you'll see it. They gave it a bone last time we were here.
Yeah.
They gave this dog a bone, and the dog was chewing the bone and got wore out, I guess. It went to sleep, and so I was gone for that. I got home, walked in the den, and this dog's laying there by this bone. I'm like, oh, my God, tell me that's not one of that dog's bones. That's how old it is. Tell me that did not work loose from the skeleton and come out through the damn skin. Oh, my God. Do we put it back? What do we do?
You just act like it never happened.
Should have put it on ice in case they can reattach it. I mean, holy crap.
Oh my
He's
God.
coughed up a bone. But you know what? Thanksgiving tradition, you got to have the food, and family and everything. Of course, there's football here, and I got a new girlfriend. She's from St. Louis, Julie, and she knows nothing about the Iron Bowl and how big college football is.
Yeah.
And she seems to be really entertained with the fact that they keep talking about that, it's Iron Bowl, 3 more days to Iron Bowl, 2 more days to Iron Bowl.
Yeah, and she's like, is this Christmas coming?
Make Julie do Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Say you got to say Roll Tide.
No.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, there you go. See, I'm an LSU guy, so
Oh,
yeah.
really? I got relatives in Plaquemine, Louisiana.
I'm sorry.
Right across the bridge.
Yeah.
So we might be kin.
Yeah, we probably are.
There's that.
There's that.
No, I was talking to Julie. So listen, that's my Alabama pickup line. We might be kin. Well, then I'm probably immune to anything you got. If we're kin, we got the same antibiotics. Antibodies, those things.
Well, that's the way it is with Julie, though, like you were saying with your dad, because her dad and me are closer to age than me and her and I are, so totally can relate to that. But, yeah, she's been getting broke in with the whole football thing. So I told her, I'm like, it's religion down here. These people take college football really serious,
Yeah. When they first met me, when I first moved to Alabama, they go, "Are you religious?" And I go, "Roll Tide." Yeah, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. He's saved.
Bring out that potato salad.
He gonna be
we
all
got the
right.
hard part out of the way.
He's good. We'll stick around. Yep, that's good.
We're going to the gambling boats for Thanksgiving.
Really?
This
No.
year. Yeah, we are, man.
Give back to the Indians,
My
huh?
sons are 28 and 24. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna, so
Go
we're
and have
gonna-
a good time,
yeah, so
yeah.
we're going to go over there and
Yeah, just give the Indians
Knock
back
out-
everything that they took. We
Hell
took from them
yeah.
originally. Here's my paycheck. There you go.
yeah.
You got any corn?
Because I can turn it into something.
Right? Yeah. But that's actually would be a cool idea. I've heard other people doing that, actually. Someone was saying the other day they go to the casinos. Bubba actually does that. Goes to the casino.
Well,
on
we've
holidays.
spent all these years cooking all night before,
Right.
all day that day, massive cleanup
Right.
and stuff, and not everybody is in the cooking area at the same time. So
Right.
you're not really together during that.
Right.
You're
Right.
split up into groups, plus I have to help.
Right.
So that
Casino it is.
buzzkill.
right. Casino it is then.
So I thought, what? Let's just do that, man. Let's pop over there. We'll take $5 a piece and gamble.
Yeah, that's all. I swear, that's all I took out. I swear to God, baby. I don't know what you're talking about. No. You don't need the debit card. I'm gonna hold on to that. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no, that's a
I guess,
good-
So that's what we're
why,
gonna do
Why
this
can I just
year.
hear corporate now? Like Beaz, why did you agree to this gig in Kazakhstan? I may have lost more than $5 that thing, and I need that gig.
Yeah.
The casino got me.
See, we were invited
No,
to do a
I'd come-
convention at something stand. I just won't do a show where they want to cut my head off. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. Yeah, that's not a good. No, demo's not mine. No. Yeah,
I look American.
I look too
would not do
American.
well.
The Alabama in me comes out too quick.
I'm squeamish when I fly through Honduras and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Butthole tightens
I'm
up.
worried, and they won't let me carry my new carry piece.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
what you got a new carry piece? What you got?
a 6-hour P365. It's the newest, coolest, most high capacity micro 9mm in the world right now.
Wow.
In production.
That's weird because most people use want to use 25mm tanks. But I mean,
That. See, and I was.
Oh wait,
thinking-
we're talking about something else.
I thought he was talking about something to keep so he could pee on the plane, or it was something that was a 6-hour pee thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, I was going.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Well, I misread that
Yeah,
question.
as long as I'm getting that, I feel that way too. Sometimes when I travel, I'm getting up there.
Well, have you ever had? I mean, if you're carrying, have you ever had that happen in your career where like a fan maybe got a little creepy or didn't like a bit you did and wanted to heckle you or something like that? We're like, I'm gonna meet you in the parking lot, Killer Beaz. I got something for your ass. Has that ever happened?
No, I have the exact opposite. My wife's gonna meet you in the parking lot, dude. We love you. Woo! You the man. Hell yeah! I tell my buddies, my wife got some of that.
Then there's that.
There's that.
It's funny because we were talking a minute ago. I mean, back when you first started, you always it was save up.
Save up!
But you got a new one, right?
Yep, there's that. That's
There's
what we
that.
do now.
Because it works on so many different things, man.
Dude, it is so much fun, and the whole audience loves saying it. They'll say it even when I wasn't going to add the tag.
Really?
I'll
Yeah.
do some bit, and we stand there, and they'll go, "There's that!" Like, oh,
Right,
perfect.
yeah,
and they're
yeah.
all like, "Wow."
Nice.
So,
Now that started with the Moonshiner guys, right?
oh yeah. It started when we were during my auditioning, I guess, kind of days.
Right.
Although I had the end with
initiation.
Digger already,
Right.
So I didn't have to go through proper channels.
More like
'Cause
initiation.
I'm Killer Damn Beast.
Right.
Okay,
right,
so
right.
So, but yeah, that's how it started. By a moonshine still out in the woods in old timey days, I'll call it. Every time somebody would say something stupid or whatever, I'd go, oh, "There's that." They'd all start laughing. So then a little while later, doing the same run of cranberry moonshine, the moonshiners started saying after anything stupid or
Right,
whatever,
right.
well, there's that.
And there's that.
Yeah, or something to get spilled, you know, anything.
Right.
Well, there's that.
Right.
Everybody, wow. So then I decided to put it in the act.
Yeah.
I said it 3 times, and on the 3rd time, the audience joined in, going, "There's that."
Right. That's
And
awesome.
now they wait on the edge of their seats to see when they can yell it at me.
That's awesome.
So it was
dude.
great, man.
And
That's been very good. 2 syllables, squeaky clean.
Yeah, and it's
So-
something
and
you don't
means-
hear very often
yeah,
either,
and
because I mean, the only time I hear it is like
anything.
after Julie and I have sex, and she says, "Well, there's that."
There's that.
Yeah.
There's that.
And it's like that's pretty much the only. So it's something new and fresh.
Something else I want to talk about is the phrase, "the thing is."
The
Yeah.
thing is,
Because there is never the answer you wanted
Right.
when somebody starts with, no. Here's the thing.
Right.
That
Yeah.
that's even better. Okay. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah, you know what's coming.
crap.
Like, oh
Right.
yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
hearing butt.
This friend of mine, Hannah Hogan, this comedian, she lives up in Nashville from Canada. She does a thing about how you never want to hear the rest of the sentence when somebody starts it with, "so you'll know."
Just so you know. Yeah, no,
Just so you know.
Yeah, well, that's all. Oh no, that's all going to shit now. No, don't want to hear that. That's
Oh my God! Well, now
There's that.
No, so you've got you've got Moonshiners coming back January 2nd.
Correct.
And that is going to be on the Discovery Channel.
Yep.
And what else do you have going forward? I mean, like, how do people follow you to keep up
Well,
with? Maybe you're coming to their town. Maybe they
right.
can see you.
The website is killerbeaz.com, B-E-A-Z. It's a play off of my last name. So killerbeaz.com. Same with Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Right.
Killer Beaz. And let me see. Corporate and I formed a new company this past year with some cats on Music Row, Nashville called the comedybuzz.com. And we have shot it's like a 24-hour all comedy radio station.
Nice.
But in conjunction with it, it's also a video company. We have shot some episodes of a series we're calling Killer Beaz Presents of comics. The first,
cool.
first 2 or 3
like a redneck black comedy tour. Huh?
episodes of that will be all squeaky clean
Right.
comics, and we got a dozen different people in. We handpicked them from all over
That's
the
the
country.
hardest to do, honestly. It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
is.
yeah. And these people are great,
Yeah.
man. So we went in and redecorated Zany's Comedy Club in Nashville stage and brought in extra lighting and trusses and all that.
Yeah.
And smoke machines, so it would pick up the lights, that kind of stuff. Put a little bit of vapor in the air, and it picks up.
There you
It
go.
does
And
that.
so, we did 2 nights of taping and had a dozen cats. So when we flew them in, put them up, did the whole thing, and turned out really, really good. So we're almost done with all the editing on that.
Nice.
And they're in talks with where they're going to place it. That's not really my part of the company.
Right.
You
You
know,
make
I'm
the jokes.
performance end.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, so
That's awesome, dude.
so we got that going as well. So corporate's been real
She's been busy. She
working
just
that.
pimping your
So she-
ass out everywhere. Ain't
Yeah,
she?
yeah,
Take
'cause-
notes, Julie.
Yeah, she's yeah. Corporate's the executive producer and is working with the videographer people doing the
Get it all
editing.
together.
So she's
The moving and
busy,
shaking
busy.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like
Well,
Sharon.
they're actually getting all the footage put together. They have tons of footage.
Yeah.
We have a live performance, interviews with each of the comedians, and then they followed me around for 2 days doing media and stuff.
Oh,
and
I
TV.
bet
So-
that's hilarious just in
Yeah, so
itself,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
Now what is
So-
that like with the young comedians coming up? Because again, you've done this since, when there were comedy clubs in towns that you would have never even thought they had a comedy club back in the peak of stand up in the 80s.
Mobile had a Punchline Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Augusta, Georgia had a Punchline Comedy Club. So I was there just before all that hit, and during my formative years
Right.
coming up, all these clubs were opening
popping.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Which they opened way too many.
Right.
They
Yeah.
opened more clubs than they had quality talent for.
Right.
So it made people
all of a sudden a guy who was an opener,
Right.
2 months ago, all of a sudden is a headliner somewhere.
Right,
And
right.
maybe wasn't ready for that.
Because people found out that club owners I'm talking about found out that they can make a lot of liquor money. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think alcohol sales is a big profit margin item from what I understand. So they got in the habit of hiring cheap comedians just so they could say it's a comedy show and get butts
Make
in
the money
the
on
seats.
the alcohol.
You know, that comp a lot of people, this and that. And
I'm
make those
surprised Michael
alcohol
Wittenberg hadn't gotten into that
sales.
business.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But there's that.
But that happened, and then the boom kind of ended. So, like, what do you see with these young guys coming up?
Well,
where do they cut their chops? I mean, on the internet?
It's hard. Well, it's hard to do stand-up without being in a stand-up environment.
Right.
YouTube comedians, meaning the guys who are doing a monologue into their camera or whatever, not a video of them doing live stand-up.
Right.
Those guys are very popular, and they come into the clubs a lot. They'll bring them in as special events and sell it out. But a lot of them struggle to have the length of time to do a headline set, that much material, and they also struggle with not having the seasoning and that scar tissue from being on stage for decades.
And having bombed 100 times.
Correct.
I'm sure.
It's all about building scar tissue. The young guys ask me, what does it take? I go, it takes getting your heart broken 1,000 times on stage in front of people to build that scar tissue and to be able to act fearless when you're on stage, and to be able to deal with all the subtle things that happen and change during a set that have to be addressed covertly.
While the show goes on.
So that the audience doesn't know you just put out a fire, and they don't know that you saw
Pass out life jackets.
Yeah, and like you said,
Quick.
don't run through that glass. So anyway, so I see a lot of the guys coming up that are struggling because there are not the comedy clubs in all the towns that there used to be in. Yet there are open mics in those towns. Okay. There's open mics in Montgomery. There's open mics in Muscle Shoals. There's open mics in Mobile. There's open mics in Hattiesburg. But there's not a comedy scene in any of those cities. Not a single one of those cities has a full-time touring professional comedian venue where the open micers can come in and watch it and go,
see how it's done. Learn.
That's it.
And the camaraderie.
And so that they can watch
camaraderie.
And so they can watch and go, oh, the bar is up there. See, that's something that happens. The bar does not get set. You know, the guys mean well. There's some talented guys, but they don't have the guidance that you get when you get to go see a professional every week. You know, a lot of clubs.
This shit kills at the water club, at the water, at the break room and at work, and I don't know why it's not going over here in this room.
And it takes so long to get good at that art form, but you also have to see it done correctly, because you can't get that from a live shoot. From watching a video of a guy on stage, you don't get
the full spectrum.
You don't get that. You don't see what's 8 feet from him that he's having to deal with, or whatever, or hear the echo, or whatever
it is.
You know,
it forges steel, that fire, you know, being in that arena.
So a lot of the kids this day I see coming up who are not from cities with a comedy scene are having a tough time getting the hang of it, because they don't have to do it. They've not seen it done at that level. They don't know what they don't know. If you catch what I'm saying. So that's the main thing that I'm seeing now.
It seems to me that a lot of those guys, you know, are in some ways are trained differently, because like when you started, like, you know, you'd probably see like a critic give a review of your performance, you know, and that was something different. There was no way to really train for that until you got it. And then you had to learn to deal with a bad review if somebody dogged you.
Or a heckler.
You
don't get that on the internet.
But
on YouTube.
Well, on the internet, they're really skilled at knowing how to ignore trolls, you know, who post negative comments on their YouTube videos, things like that. But what do you do when that heckler is right there in front of you, 10 feet away from you off that stage, going, I told you this bit sucks. Now I'm gonna come up there and whip your ass. And that's something you can only experience live on stage, right
YouTube,
there, and learn how to handle that.
Instagram, you don't have to worry about that.
And you have to learn how to not make that happen to start with.
Right. That would be the goal.
My theory is people don't heckle unless they are bored or unless you did something to make them mad.
Right.
You know, and there is an absolute skill level involved in keeping an audience engaged and wanting to hear what you say next, balanced with saying something stupid and offensive enough that you piss off the audience. That's one of the main rules. Don't piss them off.
Right. We want them to stay.
That's what you tell the opening act. Do not piss them off.
Right.
You know, and one of the downfalls I see of the new guys is so many of them go up and make statements instead of crafting a funny, surprising ending to a story or a joke.
Right.
They're making statements. They're making a remark about something on the news instead of creating and putting a movie scene in the audience member's head.
Right.
You know, and that takes so long to just the wordsmithing and the body language, man.
Right. The delivery of that
takes
line.
so much. And unless you get to see people in person do that, you don't really know that is something you need to work on.
Right.
So, and I'll tell you something else about the younger comics. A lot of them grew up gaming.
Yeah.
The gaming industry hit.
Right.
And people have gotten hours, days, months, years, decades of enjoyment out of working a controller. You know, that has become a national pastime.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Bigger than movies.
The national pastime.
Whereas when we were kids, we didn't have that.
No,
so we were forced to go outside and play. We were forced to
It's Planet of the Apes. Throw a stick at each other.
Yeah. We had to learn how to coexist
Imagination
with people.
and
We had to learn how to not be a dumbass to a bully.
Right.
We had to know how to get over a beef you had with a friend growing up. You know, a lot of the guys
They don't know how
these
to do
days,
that now.
They just weren't. Life wasn't like that when they grew up.
Right.
So that's another bit of learning curve that has to be overcome
To be successful.
when you make your living with spoken word.
Right. Yeah.
That is a tough art form.
But see, I think that's really cool. And that, what's the website again?
KillerBeaz.com, BEAZ.
And the channel, the Buzz channel?
ComedyBuzz.com.
ComedyBuzz.com. See, that's great because you're giving them that venue to get that material out, to get some experience that maybe they haven't had before, and give them that guidance.
And get this, the comics that we're putting on the radio and in our thing, we're going to let them sell their merch.
There on the
through the station.
There you go, man. Very cool.
Yeah, because they need to be able to do that.
Right,
sure.
Absolutely. Well, we got friends of ours that are, they're basically social media comedians like Blake Vapes that it's been very successful doing it and everything. But people don't see like with him, like he does a video where he flips the water bottle and it lands right perfectly on the table and he goes, "Yeah, haters," or whatever he does. Does a little funny bit. They don't see that. We're sitting there in the hotel room with him and watching him do that for like 2 hours. Over and over and over and over for this 15-second clip. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, he doesn't have anybody. It's totally different to do it live in front of a live audience where, like, you don't get an hour and a half to get that bottle trick right. You have to deliver it on time, every time, live with the audience.
Yeah, but it's a very entertaining thing. People love that. YouTube is a big entertainment outlet for people.
My kids, that's all they watch.
And I'm not good at doing videos like that. I wish I had that guy's skill and
get naked.
Aptitude
as
that.
Just get naked. Just get naked. That's the final straw for us in this age.
I can't afford that big zoom in lens.
And there's that.
There's that.
Killer Beaz, everybody. Check them out, killerbeaz.com, comedybuzz.com. Killer Beaz presents. Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming in, man.
I love you guys. Thank y'all very much.
Man. Moonshiners, new season. Season 3. No, they're on like season. This
season 8 for them,
yeah,
season 3 for me. Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock Central has traditionally been the the time, so I'm assuming
that's what it's going to be.
it will
Right.
be.
So it'll be around there. They'll
That's
let
right.
you know.
Discovery Channel, check that out. I can't say enough about you, dude. Because like seriously,
Pablo, I love you. I didn't know you were in here. That tickled the dog out of me when I came in.
Yeah, the whole gang back together, man.
I remember the turn of the century. You know, in 1999,
Oh,
we're going into the year
yeah.
2000. I was at a Killer Beaz show.
Really?
At the,
Y2K with Killer
at
Beaz.
Was it
the Holiday
downtown?
Inn downtown.
Was that the round?
The round
one?
one,
I
yep.
remember
Oh, man.
that. Yeah.
Dude, we used to blow it out in there.
We
oh
did.
my gosh.
We packed it out. I think you did two, maybe 3 shows that night.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And
Damn, that's that
Yeah.
$10 Viagra.
I just remember it was a great day because I had a smoking hot date and we had a blast at the Killer Beaz show and
And I gave him some advice about the hot tub.
He did. He did. And it was correct.
There's that.
There's that.